Welcome back to Real Clear Radio Hour, brought to you by the Competitive Enterprise Institute. I'm your host, Bill Frezza. Coming to you from the convention floor of Freedom Fest in Las Vegas, we're pleased to welcome Vit Jedlicka, founding president of Liberland. Vit, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm very happy to be on the show.
Vit, I understand you've kicked up a ruckus between Serbia and Croatia trying to start a new country. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a done thing, the country has been started. And, we've got a nation of possibly 380,000 people who want to live there. And some 50,000 people are very serious about it. They even included their resume to the application. So this has been done, the country is there, the land is there. It was not claimed by any country before Liberland claimed it. And yes, we've got a nation of people who want to have voluntary tax system, which is something totally new.
So this country called Liberland is a 7 square kilometer island in the center of the beautiful Danube. What was on it before?
Nothing. It was
empty wilderness.
Yes, exactly.
No
and
private owners?
There are a couple, but they're minority, only like 8 to 10% of the land is privately owned, and we respect that ownership. We are already in talks with these people.
But you're trying to become a sovereign state between these two countries?
Well, we are not trying, we are. According to Montevideo Conventions, the state doesn't need any recognition from any other state to become a state. This is international law.
And how have the Serbs and the Croats responded?
Serbs were very helpful from very beginning. They said this is not their land. They don't mind creation of Liberland. They think it's a frivolous act, which I like the word anyway. And yes, they've been very helpful, and they are helpful so far.
So they're happy to watch. They don't mind you going back and forth.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, and they are going to do borders with us during this summer. And I'm happy to announce that actually the ambassador to Serbia is the son of the border committee of Serbia, so it's great connection.
Isn't that something?
That's something, yes, I know.
And the Croats haven't been quite as friendly?
Well, Croats didn't talk to us much, unfortunately, but they give us this great opportunity to organize our stuff. We are getting Liberlandian government organized, we are improving our IT system so we can organize the whole
application for citizenship, passports.
Yes, exactly, and there is a lots of stuff. We need to get ready, to have proper country. And my primary mission, and that's why I'm also in States, is that I'm setting up embassies. And in the United States, I'm going to set up not only embassy for the whole America, but also embassy for Las Vegas, New Hampshire. We've got enough people here. It's great. We've got 6,000 people from U.S.
They're ready to come.
Yes, and they're ready to help to create these governments. And these, in a way, it might get so far that when you go abroad and you are a Liberlandian citizen, you will not, ask for help from the U.S. embassy. You will turn to the Liberlandian embassy because there will be so many by the end of the year.
So tell us a little bit more about micronations. How many are there in the world?
We are not a micronation by definition. Actually, it's it's very hard to call a state like this micronation if we get so many applicants. If we accepted everybody, we would be larger than Iceland by now.
No kidding. But there are companies like Liechtenstein and Monaco and others that have quite a successful history.
Exactly, and that's what we want to follow up on. We really want to create a tax haven, a tax heaven, actually, not only tax haven. And we are inspired by countries like Liechtenstein, Monaco, Hong Kong, and so on.
So, Vit, could you make any comparisons between what you're trying to do in Liberland and what the folks at either Seasteading or the LEAP zones are doing in South America?
I think the main difference is a huge support that we are getting, not only from the people but also from the media. We've got all the major world media informing about the creation of Liberland. Plus, we do have this very nice piece of land, which is having a strategic position. It's on the border of European Union and Serbia. It's on the Danube River, so it's really accessible from all around the world. It's very easy to go to Budapest from there. We already started private airline from Liberland to Prague. So it's pretty much easy to get there, and it's a very nice piece of land. It has nice sandy beaches, 600 meters long on the Danube River. So it's also a great resort.
Now, are you selling private land yet?
No, we are not doing that.
Well, what's the plan?
We will do that at the time everything is settled. We get a couple of recognitions from other states. Serbia is, of course, our main thing. Then Croatia. It might take a couple of months, I think, but we will get that eventually. But I think it will come as a side product of creating this worldwide organization which will support the creation of Liberland. And yes, there's going to be, for example, protests in front of all the embassies that we have citizens. I will send an email
Asking for recognition?
asking not only for recognition, but also so that our citizens let the Croatian embassies abroad know that we exist and we want to get the access. So the thing will take place on 24th of July. It will be called Free Access to Liberland, and this is what is going to happen.
Is the geography and climate appropriate for, say, resort hotels?
It's a great place. It's a little bit colder in Florida, but it's about the same climate.
So at least spring, summer, fall could be a nice place to vacation if someone decides to build there.
Definitely, and I really love the place because I don't like the salty water too much, so Danube River is perfect, but I love long sandy beaches. This is exactly what we've got there.
And how far is it from the nearest airport?
It's 30 kilometers from Osijek airport, but we do have a strip of land that could be used for landing in future very easily. It's already cleaned up, so if we got the proper access to the land, and we could use it already.
Have you been in touch with any billionaires who might be interested in building there?
Sure.
Can you tell us about that, or is that all proprietary right now?
Yeah, I found out that Casey is on the citizenship list, which is quite unfortunate. I didn't know before I met him here in person, but he gave us other contacts to billionaires, and we've got like 20 billionaires on the list who are serious in helping get this started. And yes, I cannot disclose their names because I didn't discuss that with them yet. But I've got, for example, owners of biggest architectural companies. We've got 600 architects on the list.
Wow.
It's not only architects, actually, it's also architectural companies. And one of them is having, for example, 400 architects themselves. So we are probably making this worldwide network of architectural companies all interested to do something for Liberland.
So what's the plan for infrastructure? Is there going to be any public infrastructure, namely electricity, water, sewage, or is that all going to be done privately?
It's going to be done privately. We might do some crowdfunding for some basic infrastructure, but I think it's not necessary.
So it's up for the developers to put that in?
Yeah, and yes, people can, push some ideas through state in a way that there will be crowdfunding for it. But if it doesn't materialize, that the people will not be getting enough support from the citizens, then the private sector will take care of that.
And what are your thoughts on supply chain logistics? Right now, the island's only reachable by boat. There are no bridges. What it would be like getting fuel, food, and whatnot into the land?
The problem is at the moment that we cannot even access the land. At the very beginning, it was this notion that they will let us access the land, but now they decided that they will blockade the whole area.
Who's blockading the area?
It's the Croatia police.
The Croatia police.
Yes,
so they've got boats in the water blockading the island.
Yes, they put like 4 or 5 boats. Yes, when we are celebrating even more than that. But we keep on having more and more boats ourselves as well, and we might one day we might either outnumber them, or we will be able to access the land because of our diplomatic effort with Croatia.
Now, are they seeking to claim that land, or they just want to keep it unclaimed?
No, they are trying to prevent Liberland from happening at the moment. That's the only thing.
What's their stated strategy besides stopping you?
Well, they say that the whole area is border now, and that's quite strange. You can have borderline, but not a border area. I think it's just a small obstacle. It's really giving us time to organize. And we need to show a proper effort, proper organization, proper diplomacy in future. And I think once we do that, we will deserve this entrance.
Are you concerned about violence?
Not at all. We are not engaged in violence in any way. All the arrests that have been taking place there were pretty peaceful, let's say. And it was quite fun when our Red Cross team got arrested there. But we've got a humanitarian organization already starting to be interested in what's going on there. The people are basically, according to international law, kidnapped and taken over borders without their free will. This is exactly what is happening. So I declare that because we decided that we will become members of Geneva Conventions, and Croatia is also a member of Geneva Conventions. They signed up for it, and this shouldn't be happening. Even though we are not recognized country, they shouldn't be kidnapping our citizens from Liberlandian territory and moving them out.
So in dealing with Croatia, have you considered bribery? That usually keeps politicians happy.
Well, we'll probably use it as a last resort thing. We would rather make an open deal with them.
Is there any interest you can give them that would calm their concerns?
there is, of course, a possibility that we will give a land to whoever will resolve this unfortunate, let's call it a small obstacle for now, with Croatia. Because there is nothing really in between creation of Liberland, a part of these 50 to 60 policemen on the spot there, and they're not going to be there forever. And we are going to
They'll get tired of it after a while.
Yes, and we will show them proper effort. We will show them that we are serious, because what Croatia said so far is that they don't take our claim seriously. And I know at the time they issued that statement, they had a secret governmental meeting on Sunday, and we had people on that meeting who informed us about it. So it's quite a funny situation with Croatia.
So does Liberland have any foundational documents? Do you have a constitution?
Yes, sure. We've got a state-of-art constitution. We took the best parts of American constitution, Swiss constitution, and some aspects of Estonian electronic voting, and we put it together. And we add up some 50% more of our stuff that we thought it's necessary to really keep government intact, to keep it small. So, yes, I think you will like it if you go through it. It's definitely worth reading.
Where can we find a copy online?
It's liberland.org, and you can. It's probably the first constitution which is being developed on GitHub, so everybody can contribute to the project.
How does that work?
It's GitHub is usually used by programmers to develop some larger projects, so everybody can comment, and like administrator takes a look into these comments or changes, and he just decides if he's going to accept them or not. And we've got a constitutional lawyer, Kasper Zajac, now heading this operation. He is also like Minister of Justice for now within the Liberlandian government, and he's taking care of that the best comments are included into the constitution.
And what's the ratification process? How do you know when you're done with the constitution?
Well, we're going to work on it until there will be first general elections, and I think it might take a while. Already we've got state-of-art constitution. We could already apply it. There's been so many lawyers looking into it, and I think it's close to being a very good constitution, but I really would like to have it flawless before it gets introduced.
And when do you think you might have your first election rather than just having a declared government?
Right at the time the political situation in Liberland gets stabilized, after we get some recognition, after there is a free access, after there is a border agreement, not only with Serbia but also with Croatia.
Vit, this is absolutely fascinating. I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for taking me in. It was a pleasure.
That was President Vit Jedlicka of Liberland, coming to you from Freedom Fest in Las Vegas, here on Real Clear Radio Hour, brought to you by the Competitive Enterprise Institute. I'm your host, Bill Frezza. Sign up for updates at realclearradio.org, like us on Facebook, or subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. And stop by America's premier independent political website, realclearpolitics.com. Ahead, global analyst and financial advisor Adrian Day examines our dicey and volatile financial times. Stay tuned.